Hi, seventh graders. This is your Language Arts 700 course overview. My name is Mrs. Hool. You can remember how to pronounce it because it rhymes with pool. And of course, I will be your English teacher this year. I also teach middle school social studies and high school French at Icon. So if you're also taking social studies or a history course in seventh grade, I'll be your teacher and you'll have to endure another video of me doing the overview for that also. So anyway, please contact me if you have any questions or concerns about this course. Here is my schedule and contact information, which you're free to print out and keep in a handy place. My office hours are generally Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Mountain Time. So keep that in mind if you are in North Idaho and in the Pacific Time Zone. I have a live office for help or questions. You can pop in on Mondays and Wednesdays, 1 to 2 p.m. Mountain Time. There is a link to enter right there, or you can go to the Icon School calendar on Mondays or Wednesdays at the appropriate time and click on the link there to enter. There's my email there for you and both of my phone numbers. The first is my cell phone, and I'm generally able to be reached at that number. Sometimes I do work from home, and that is the second phone number. Just so that you know, my cell phone doesn't work when I'm at home, so that's why it says to try both numbers, please, and to leave a message. If you're not able to get a hold of me, because if I don't answer during the 8 to 4 times, I'm probably helping another student on the phone or online. And so if you leave a message, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So be sure to try both numbers. Okay, what is this course about? Language Arts 700 is a thematic study of literature that explores accounts of Earth, space, and survival. Students will read a variety of texts, and they will also develop their writing skills as they focus on the 6 traits of writing while producing argumentative, narrative, and expository essays. With a strong emphasis on close reading instruction, research activities, and speaking and listening tasks, this course will help students expand their understanding of literature while building 21st century skills. Curriculum decisions for this course are guided by the Common Core State Standards per Idaho State statute. These standards were developed to provide clear and consistent goals for student learning and to ensure that students have the skills they need to be successful beyond high school. Okay, so here are some additional resources you are going to need to be successful in this course. Of course, you need internet access to complete this course. You'll need to have access to encyclopedia, either online or a hard copy. And if you go online, just search in your browser for online encyclopedia and you'll come up with several. It would be advisable to have paper and a notebook to take notes and a pencil or pen to do so. Um, Research has proven that it's 7 times more effective to write something out to remember it than just to type it. So it is to your advantage to take notes. A printer is optional to print out study guides and or vocabulary or whatever you need. We'll talk more about study guides in a little bit, but you're also going to need either a community, state, or national newspaper, which may be online. Okay, you could go to, say, usatoday.com or idahostatesman.com to search for articles for assignments where you'll need a newspaper. And then you'll also need a newspaper with a section on world news. And again, it may be online. So, pre-tests. Starting this year, a pre-test will be required before beginning English. It does cover the material in this entire course, but your grade on it will not count against you. When it's completed, I will skip it in your gradebook. This is a school-wide requirement designed to comply with state guidelines, and it isn't optional. I know you'll think maybe it's not fair because you haven't had this material yet, and that's why we skip it in your grade book, but we do need to comply with state guidelines, whether we like them or not sometimes. Okay, your unit overviews. At the beginning of each unit, you will find an overview or what you will learn. Also included are study guides for each quiz and test in the unit. And some units have important links for readings or resources you'll need. So be sure to look down below the study guides. I will put, if there's other resources you need or links you need, they will be down below the study guides on unit overviews. Then on the unit overviews, you'll need to answer 2 questions to get credit for completing each unit overview. Live class assignments. To help you with the more difficult assignments and projects, I've scheduled live class assignments throughout the units. As the time gets closer for each assignment, I will insert a link for you, either to attend a live class session or to watch a recording of it and call me for credit. I will also email you at the beginning of each week when the live classes will be held. You will be required to complete one of these options for credit for the assignment. You won't be able to do these assignments in advance because they are live class assignments, so I generally hold the live class, and then after that I have the recording of it that I put into your assignment so that if you weren't able to come, you can still watch the recording and call me for credit. Also, for those of you who may be running at a different pace, or if you've started with ICON at a different time than the semester started, your due dates may not be at the same time that I hold the live classes. I hold the live classes when most people in the course will be at that point at a certain time. So keep that in mind. That's why there are recordings so that you can go back and watch them if need be. All right, let's go on to grading policy and weights. So first of all, if you're concerned about any assignments, your grade, or your progress, please contact me as soon as possible. I do expect you to read and study the lessons and complete all lessons, projects, and quizzes and tests in the order that they are due. So something that is new for the 2015-16 school year. In case you were with us last year, this is new. It is the school-wide policy of ICON to reassign blank essay answers or short question answers that you have to type in within lessons, quizzes, and tests. Students submitting blank essays will have these questions reassigned, and repeated blank essays will result in assignments being locked and may result in parent-teacher conferences to resolve this issue. So in other words, I'm not going to be able to accept blank answers anymore. If you're on a quiz or test and don't know the answer, at least make an attempt. Okay? But the rest will be reassigned, and your assignments will unfortunately be blocked if you keep handing in something blank. If you don't know what to do, you can always ask a question, and I'll do my best to answer you. Okay, let's talk a little bit about plagiarism. Plagiarism is essentially copying someone else's work and making it your own. You will need to write any researched material in your own words. That's very important. You must include citations anytime you research or look up information, and I'll give you some citation information below. Using a quote in your answer is not plagiarism if you use quotation marks, you keep it to 1 or 2 lines of text, and if you tell where the quote came from. If an assignment is plagiarized, it will be a 0 for the entire assignment, except for the first offense, in which case you will redo. Your parents will also be contacted if anything is plagiarized, and possibly ICON administration, depending on the situation. So when it comes down to it, always cite your sources, write in your own words. So if you would like extra credit, it is available if you have no zeros and you would like to improve your grade. Please contact me if you would like to consider extra credit. Now for the how your grade is weighted. Your lessons, your everyday assignments, are 25% of your unit grade. You have 3 attempts to reach a score of at least 75%. Projects is also 25% of your unit grade. A blank project will be reassigned as a blank essay. It says see info above, just like we just talked about. The blank project is the same as a blank essay. I'll keep reassigning it. Quizzes are 25% of your unit grade. You only have one opportunity to complete quizzes and tests, so make sure you're prepared before you complete them. Tests, same thing, 25% of your unit grade, and you have one opportunity, and make sure you're prepared. Now, the thing with quizzes and tests are there are more quizzes in each unit than tests. Unit tests are just one in each unit, so that's a quarter of your entire grade. Okay, quizzes, there's a little bit more. So they all combine to be 25% of your unit grade. Now, this part is also different from last year if you were with us last year. Reassigning quizzes and tests. Alternate versions of quizzes and tests will be assigned if a student wishes to redo them for a better grade. So this will be done at my discretion and most likely at the end of a unit. So in other words, if you want to redo a quiz or test to boost your grade, it's not going to be the same quiz or test that you just took. It will be an alternate version. Same material, different questions. And it'll be done at my discretion. So in other words, if you've tried to turn in blank essays, or if you, I can check on the computer to see how long you've taken on each assignment and test. So if you've only taken 3 minutes and just clicked through, I'm not as inclined to help you by reassigning something else as if you take your time and really have trouble with the material. All right, study guides, something new, another new thing for the 2015-16 school year. Study guides will be actual lessons to be turned in before working on each quiz or test. An incomplete study guide will be treated as a blank essay. And see above, we just talked about. I will just have to keep reassigning it. And you know the consequences of that. So what it's going to be is there are study guides in each unit overview. There is a link to study guides, I should say. And you open your study guide and save it to your computer or print it out and answer the questions on your study guide as you work through your assignments for each unit. So that's staying the same. What is new is before each quiz or test, there'll be an assignment in which you'll have to turn in your completed study guide. Okay? You'll have to fill out the questions and turn it in for credit. All right, a little about projects, which come in the form of charts, reports, essays, etc. Most of your projects must be completed as a document which you will save and attach to your project assignments in order to submit. So, in other words, it's to your advantage. Sometimes in cyber world, if you just write an essay right in the writer box, it gets lost in sending it. So what I suggest to students is to open up a document, type your essay there, and attach it to your assignment, or copy and paste it in so that if it gets lost, you have another copy of it so that you don't have to completely redo if it gets lost. Okay, your essays will be graded with equal weight given to your content, your organization, and your conventions, which are spelling, grammar, and punctuation. Pay attention to the instructions in the project for length, organization, and content of your project essays and reports. If you have any questions on how to complete a project, please contact me. Okay, a little bit about citing your resources. Many projects will require that you research information from a book, newspaper, or website. Every time you use information that someone else has written, you must cite your sources to give the author credit. Otherwise, it's plagiarism. Please follow a citation style that includes at least these details. These are very important. Save these or be able to know where they are to go back every time you cite your sources. You're going to, for books, magazines, or articles, you need the author's last name, then first name. Then you need the title of the book, underlined or italicized, and the publication date of the article or book. Here's an example of a book citation. Oops, sorry. So it would be Taylor, last name, Sally Adamson, first name. There's the book name, Culture Shock, 1990. Okay, to cite a website, you need the author's last name, then first name, if there is one. Often on websites, we just take information as it is, but you need to search to see if there is an author. Okay, the name of the book or article that you've researched, if there is one, the date of publication, the date you accessed the information, and the URL address taken from the address bar. Okay, I'll show you. Here's an example. Netting, Ruth. Okay, and this time I italicized. Tropical Twisters. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, that is the name of the article written by Ruth Netting. Okay, and it is from NASA, the 22nd of January 2003. That was when it was written. And it says web, so we know that it's not a hard copy. The date, or yes, the date you accessed the information was the 30th of August 2012. Now here is the URL. You have to copy and paste exactly what it says up in that browser bar. Okay, that's the URL address. You may not do this, www.nasa.gov. Okay, that's not a URL address. That is how you get to it when you type it in your browser bar. But we want exactly the URL. So if you submit anything like the one that says no, then I'm going to ask you to look into your course overview and redo. Okay? Because you really do need to get to know how to do these proper citations for when you get to 8th grade and high school, because they're going to have points taken off for them. So most likely, if you do that, I'll have to tell you, I'll have to reassign and say, redo this according to in the unit overview, please. So anyway. Have a great semester. If you need anything, please contact me. I am here to help, and I am glad to help people. So thanks for listening. Don't forget to answer your 3 questions at the bottom for credit, and goodbye.